Do you have a best story about Michael Jordan or Larry Bird? Just because Larry drafted you and you played for Charlotte, and obviously Michael is around the Carolina program a lot.
Man, my favorite story about Larry Bird is one time we're stretching, and there was a defensive coach when I was with the Pacers who's passed away, Dick Harder, and he was telling me about how he thought I could be, a very good defensive player and really impact the game defensively, and he thought I could move my feet. And Larry was right there, and he looked at me. He said, "Hansbrough, I'd give you 50," and just walked away, just like that. And I always laughed about that. But Bird was so Bird was a great shit talker. I mean, his lines were so quick and delivered so well that he would just say, and boom, kind of be gone. But Bird was great. I had a lot of interactions with Bird, and the one thing that I respected about Larry Bird was when I was with the Pacers and he was a GM. When he was a GM, he never missed a home practice. He was at every single practice, and he wanted to show the team that he was just as committed as anybody and was going to work. And so I really, really respected that. But Jordan, even though Jordan is a Carolina, like Jordan is so tough. Like he has like his, he is such a public figure that it's kind of hard to actually have like a story or interaction with him without like, everyone around with their cameras or something like that. It's just hard.
He's still probably one of the most famous people on the planet, even today, which is insane. He hasn't played in 30 years or 25 years.
It's crazy for him just to pull up somewhere, kind of actually have like a, interaction with him. It's very rare. And so I don't have many great stories, but the only story I do know is I knew he was always in Charlotte when I could smell the cigar smoke in the hallway. That's about the only thing I knew because I do like for some reason, I like the smell of those cigar smokes. And I always thought it was, I always enjoyed it when I was walking through the halls.
They both kind of, I know they're very different. Like you said, Bird was around more, but neither one where you see like Magic Johnson out with like media, with everything over and over and over. Both Bird and Jordan were kind of to themselves, like even Bird, he would kind of sit for the games. He would sit, but he didn't really talk to anybody. He's not a guy that really likes the attention.
But he'd be on the baseline every game. I mean, I could, not that I was at a million Pacers games, but I could tell you where he's going to sit. He was sitting right behind the basket, and he'd be about 7 rows off the floor, and he was there every one I was ever at.
The amazing thing is if you told like your kids in like 10 years, and if Rob ever has kids, we'll see. I just want to see if they have better than a 19.5-inch vertical when they grow up. But if you ever showed them Larry Bird and were like, this is one of the top 10 players in NBA history. Like if I showed my daughter and I'm like, right here, like she'd be like, huh, what, Dad, really? Him? And it's crazy. I mean, I grew up watching him in Boston. You talk about the trash talk. Like I remember sitting there before a game, one game, and he's doing a shooting contest with a guy named Michael Smith, played at BYU, and just shit talking. I mean, I don't remember how much money he took from him, but it was insane. Just shit talking one-liner after one-liner. I have a story I can't share on this pod, but I will share with both of you at some point that I had with Larry Bird, but you cannot ever repeat it. It is at a level that, elite level shit talking.
And the one thing that people forget about Bird is he's one of the best fighters to ever play. And you go look at him, he was always ready. And the old school NBA is so different than now. There wasn't a lot. I mean, Larry was ready to go at any time.
He fought Lambeer. Lambeer was as dirty as anybody.
And the one thing about I never saw Larry in person until I started playing with the Pacers. He's a huge dude. Like he is. I mean, today he'd probably be listed as 7 foot. But I mean, he is a big dude.